Welcome to My Decadent Life. My name is Jennifer and today we are doing a pretty cool video. I will be comparing the new Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40, which is on this side of my face, to the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, which is on this side of my face. So if you are interested in seeing how these two products kind of compare to each other and wear on the skin for a little while, then please keep watching. Oh my gosh, hello! Let's do the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 half face compared to the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. Now, these products really are so different, but I found when Ilia launched this, a lot of people were like, I wonder how it compares to the face oil. In terms of, tinted lightweight products, we all kind of just like instinctively want to compare them. So I find these to be very different. Very, very, very unbelievably different. So we'll see how this goes doing a half of a face test. So I prepped my skin essentially the same, except for I used the Beach Shield. This is by Crave Beauty. This is a sunscreen on this half of my face because that is the side I will use the Kosas, and the Kosas product does not have SPF in it. But if I'm using Ilia Serum, the Ilia Serum, they declare that this is like a standalone product. You shouldn't need any other skin tone or you shouldn't need any other skincare underneath it. And turn my extra light off. And I'm wearing it that way. Like, I'm not putting a ton of stuff underneath it because at $46, including SPF and skincare ingredients, I kind of need it to do all the things it says it's going to do. Or I feel like you wouldn't need those ingredients added to it. Then I would just buy a less expensive product and layer the other things I needed underneath it. So I do have some serums on my face today because I have a stuffy nose. Our weather has changed again, and that always makes my skin so dry. And this stuffy nose feeling run down, my lips are so dry, and my skin and my nose, from blowing my nose, were just unbelievably dry. So I did layer some serums on underneath, and then I, like I said, sunscreened this half of my face. I have been actually liking using a sponge with this Ilia, so I will probably incorporate some of that. One thing that I thought about with this product is because it comes in a dropper, when I'm shaking, I've been trying to squeeze out the product before I shake. So that first little bit of product I get isn't just already all been stuck in the dropper and not really have gotten shaken up with the rest of the product. Does that make any sense? The hardest part about doing a half face is going to be like feeling like I can actually blend it enough without like blending into the other space. So there will be some overlap, obviously, but I'll do my best. So I have the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 in the color Formosa, which is ST4. The hard thing about how they label these is they kind of just give them different names, but that is light with neutral undertones, and you get 1 fluid ounce or 30 mils for $46. So it's funny, my thought was that I would put it on and talk to you guys while I was putting it on, but I just got so into the zone. I got really into the zone. So I just kind of zoned in and didn't think about it. So right off the bat, differences for sure is the Ilia, because of the sunscreen, it has such like a richer, like jelly almost. It's like, okay guys, I would describe it as lightweight, but it has viscosity to it. It isn't going to just be like an oil. And I truly feel, when you're applying it, that you kind of have to work it into the skin. And I find that even if I use my sponge, obviously the sponge picks up some product, but it also pushes the product back out. So I don't find that it just like picks it up off my face. I think it actually works quite nice with a sponge. Now, this is really the only sponge I've used it with. This is the Eco Tools. I think these are like the Jade inspired or something. I got this at Ulta and I like this little guy. So that might be part of why this sponge works well, because it's really squishy. And then I touched on this in my Kosas video, have a sample of the oil. I don't know that this is a product I would use all the time, so I have not purchased it. However, I have had mini samples. I shouldn't say mini samples, I've had a couple samples that have lasted and gotten like tons of use out of. Like my little Detox Market little cylinder that I had. I think I got like 5 or 6 full uses out of that product. So I definitely have, I do feel like even though that I do not own this product, I have had lots of opportunity to try it. Okay, I can't even lift my hand to start showing you guys, so I'm going to start putting it on. And then once I pick up some of the product, I will lift to show you, because this is how oily this product is. It is pure oil. And I struggle with like, how much should you use? Because you want coverage. I know you're using a lightweight product, but you still want it to cover. You know, you want it to be there. Okay, you guys, I apologize. My camera, my SD card was full at the most inopportune time while I was just blending in that Kosas oil. But I was able to get it changed pretty quickly. So I feel like everything is truly just starting to set. But if we're going to just do really nice and up close, the Kosas oil is not as dewy looking in the few minutes that I've had it on as the Ilia is. Like right in here, I think you can really see that I just look shinier. And over here, I look so skin-like. But if I touch my face, product comes away on both sides. And I would say that more product came off of the Kosas side than it did on the Ilia side. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to do concealer and the rest of our face, and I'm not going to set anything with powder until the way end so that we can see like how much it truly dries down in about, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes of having it on our face. Now, obviously I'll be manipulating it, but I think that that'll be a good way to kind of tell, you know, again, to kind of compare them. So to recap, obviously texture was way different, but level of coverage is pretty close. So I have a few little breakout things kind of going on down here. Let me grab just a little bit more of the Kosas and see if I can't kind of blur this blemish I have under my chin. That's a really vulnerable position. Would you guys like to see the inside of my nose? So this is a pretty red and still sort of angry, but getting to be gone blemish. It does not cover it. It doesn't claim to cover it. I'm just kind of giving you an example. And then, you know, I have a few down here with the Ilia. But as far as coverage with a skin tint, I feel like I get an appropriate amount of coverage for a skin tint from each of these products. I just would go in with concealer, which I will do now, to build up the coverage on some of those spots. But I would say over the top of a blemish, they cover comparably. So I have Ilia for my Ilia side. I use Chicory under my eyes, and I did a full concealer swatch setup, and I kept them in my highlights on my Instagram page. So if you're interested in seeing how some of the concealer colors compare, I basically swatched almost all the liquid concealers that I own. And a lot of the times I have like a brightening color and a like skin tone color as well. So I feel like for the most part, you know, the products were close enough, like pretty impressively close, considering if you're comparing light out of 6 shades and light out of 16 shades, where does light end up? You know, light's always going to be in a different spectrum when you have 10 extra colors. And then, sorry, the stuffy nose, you guys, it's making me like struggle to breathe at all. And I find that I really kind of like hold my breath a little. And then onto the Kosas concealer. So what do you guys think about these? I feel like after I posted my video, so before I posted my video, the only videos I saw were sponsored because the people had gotten the product sent to them. This is O2 for under my eye. The people had gotten the product sent to them and they were able to start using it immediately and get their videos up the day that the product launched, which I totally get. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. That's just a matter of fact. So by the time I got mine and filmed my video like the day I got them, edited it and posted it, I think by like that night, the next couple days I saw a few more videos where people were talking about the tone maybe being a little on the yellow side, or, you know, maybe not feeling like the coverage was, I don't know, like what they expected, or the finish was, you know, a certain this or that. I find it to be quite nice. I like it. It's a little bit more coverage than the Ilia, but I have the second lightest shade in the Ilia and the Kosas, and I don't think you can really hardly tell a difference between them. Even the finish on camera and in my mirror looks really similar. The Kosas is a little bit more coverage. The Ilia is a little bit of a lighter. It's definitely easier for me to blend with my finger with the Ilia, and the Kosas I do better blending with a sponge. But I find them to be both really nice. Now, my Ilia is maybe staying a little bit more tacky, and maybe my Kosas does set down a little bit more. And I know a lot of people were saying that they do not set theirs, but I did set mine. And then as far as my skin tone color, I have 3.5. And again, I did a whole video on this. I like to kind of let my concealer set on my skin just a little bit. Otherwise, I feel like it just ends up blending to nothing immediately. So that's what that looks like with the concealer coverage. And I think that oh, my double chin. That's the other thing that happens to me when I'm sick. How about you guys? I have been eating more comfort food, a few more carbs, and some more like Gatorade-y type of electrolyte drinks, which even if I'm choosing the ones that have less sugar, I feel like they still have some little bit more sugar in them than maybe I normally drink. And I just get puffy. I am so specific with my diet most of the time. I'll do a video on this. Sometimes I will never do diet advice on YouTube, but I will go through some of the things I've learned about myself and my diet and why I follow a specific kind of diet, and what that then meant for me learning about like ingredients and things in beauty. It's been about a 12-year process, but it's been, I mean, I've learned a lot. So anyway, it's been a good journey. But anytime I fall off that wagon, because I get sick or I get a little run down and I opt for a few more comfort things, and I'm not even talking about like you guys, like I'm not talking about like I was just like, oh, I'm sick, so I'm just gonna like, you know, eat grandma's Niffler soup every single day. I did a few more things, like I got one of those egg souffles from Caribou Coffee, which they're not horrible, but they have like modified food starch and a little bit of wheat in it. And that's all it takes for me to just completely feel like my entire body gets puffy and inflamed. So anyway, that's my little rant. Sorry. I am in good spirits. I am very aware of the changes that happen physically to me. So it is hard for me to film and not address it at all, right? Okay, so things are looking nice. This side definitely looks more skin, and this still looks more radiant. But let's pop on a little more product. Do you guys think you want to watch this, or do you think you just want me to do this and come back? I think I'm gonna do it and come back. Okay, so we're back. The rest of my makeup is on. My eyeshadow actually kind of came together, and I am loving this lipstick. So what I wanted to talk about is the complexion. I haven't powdered either side. This is still dewier. The Ilia is still dewier, but everything really kind of like really truly like set itself down. And I think in my Ilia video, I didn't give it that much time. I gave it time. I put my makeup on, but I feel like because I did this side and then I went over and did this side, that this side had like that much more time to set. And it has kind of set down. I keep touching it. And I do find that a little bit of transfer will come up, whereas the Kosas side truly feels like a dry oil on your skin. Like you put it on and you know that there's oil on, but your skin just sort of goes like and sucks it all up, where the Ilia has more viscosity to it. I know I keep saying that word, but that's truly kind of the feeling that I get and like the thing that sets them apart. And I'm sure that that really has, maybe a lot to do with the fact that it has that zinc oxide in it, because zinc oxide is always a more like emollient and kind of richer, thicker textured product, whether it's sunscreen, diaper rash cream, or even like a skin kind of like treatment, you know? I find that it just has more of that texture. But as far as finish, I shouldn't say finish, as far as how beautiful it is, you guys, they're really both very, very pretty. Now, I'm quite aware that I am blessed with fairly nice skin in the first place, but I think that it is still a good example of how like gorgeous both of these products truly are. And they just offer different things. If you, as crazy as this sounds, if you're wanting almost more of a skin-like finish with maybe a little bit more of a, I can't say the word matte, it's not matte, but like leaning to that side, the oil, the Kosas oil might be the better product for you. And then just be very cautious of the sunscreen you use underneath it. I cannot recommend the Beach Shield from Crave Beauty more. Like, it does not feel like sunscreen. It isn't technically considered sunscreen in the USA. Our FDA does not acknowledge it, but in Korea it is a sunscreen, and Susan Yara swears by it, and I just am like, I'm not going to question her. You know what I mean? I've looked into it, and if she says it works as sunscreen, she has like worn it, tried and true, fave of hers, like it's fine. Like, I probably trust Susan Yara more than I trust the FDA. So there. But if you are looking for like simplicity, a one step and done, like you could cleanse your face in the morning, put this product on and be done, then this is the way to go. So you have two really cool companies, cool products doing cool things. There's just a difference. And I would say that the SPF included in this one is, ultimately the biggest difference for sure in the actual like components of the product. But as far as the coverage, I would say that it is very similar. As far as the finish, we're a little dewier over here, but not much. A little bit of powder would just set that right down and you'd be good to go. I think that they both are gorgeous. Some people really struggle to set the Kosas. I guess I haven't struggled to set it. When I've set it, it seems to have worked fine. That might be the setting powder that I've just kind of accidentally chosen to use over the top of it, have just been light enough that it doesn't disrupt the finish of it, but I've had good luck setting it. So the tinted face oil from Kosas that I'm using today is 03. That is the sample they sent me, and from what I understand, their colors are intended to be fairly flexible. However, theirs is listed as, this one is listed as fair with cool undertones, and I would typically never choose that. I would usually choose light, or light with neutral tones, or sometimes fair light, which would be 3.5, which is what I chose for the darker set of the concealer that I have. I actually find that this 03 is fairly, I think, neutral undertoned. I guess maybe a little on the yellow side. So keep that in mind maybe with Kosas. I've been hearing just a little bit more chatter that maybe some of their tones do run a little bit warmer and possibly a little bit darker, because I don't know that I would consider myself fair at all. I am almost always light. So that being said, both of these products are on the more expensive side. The Kosas tinted face oil retails for $42. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It helps me out a ton. The more support I get on YouTube, the more videos I'll be able to make. So please let me know what you would like to see next. And if you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I hope to do more videos like this. I would love to do some more comparison. And if you're curious about my eye look, keep your eyes open for that video. Will be coming soon as well. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a beautiful day. Okay, bye-bye.